right, a very good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us tonight. It is 1 minute past the hour. You're just in time for KUTV News at 9. A lot is in store for you tonight. But first, let's get an introduction.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
That's right. On the sign language interpretation tonight is Margaret Migwi. Remember, this broadcast is also coming to you live on YouTube at KUTV News. And also you can engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Anyango Sylvia KE. We begin. Now, following the increased pressure over the murder of social media influencer Albert Ojwang, Deputy Inspector General of Police Eliud Lagat has finally stepped down from his office as Deputy Inspector General of Police. Through a letter from his office issued on Monday evening, Lagat also sent his condolences to the family of the late Albert Ojwang and stated that he is ready to provide any information required in that case.
Deputy Inspector General of Police Eliud Lagat has finally stepped aside from his office through a letter issued by his office today. This follows public pressure and calls for the resignation of the officer who is allegedly involved in the murder of social media influencer and teacher Albert Ojwang, who was found dead at the Central Police Station. Ojwang is alleged to have posted information against the senior police officer. According to Lagat's letter, his office is now under his deputy, who will hold the position until the Independent Policing Oversight Authority (IPOA) completes investigation into the murder of Albert Ojwang. Lagat expressed his condolences to the family of the late Albert Ojwang, announcing that he is willing to provide any information required in the ongoing investigations on Albert Ojwang's murder. Blue Smile Hassan, KUTV.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has affirmed government's efforts to take strong legal action against all police officers who break the law when dealing with the public. According to Murkomen, although worse incidents have been experienced in the past, the progressive nature of the law and policy will soon make such occurrences rare in our country. Murkomen assured that incidents such as bodies being dumped in the Yala River, the case of Indian nationals killed in a container at a police station, cases of abduction, incarceration, detention without trial, and recently the death of Albert Ojwang while in the hands of the police, among others, shall be punishable by law, and those involved will soon be held accountable.
Experienced worse incidents in the past, the progressive nature of our law and policy will soon make such occurrences rare in our country. Incidents such as bodies being dumped in Yala River, the case of Indian nationals killed in a container at police station, cases of abductions, incarcerations, detention without trial, and recently the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang while in the hands of police, among others, must be punished by law, and those involved will soon be held accountable.
Now, former Chief Justice David Maraga has called for the arrest and prosecution of the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, his deputy, Eliud Lagat, and the Director of Criminal Investigations, that is DCI, Mohammed Amin. Maraga accuses them of conspiring to cover up the murder of Albert Ojwang following conflicting statements they had issued earlier.
In a statement to the media, the former Chief Justice David Maraga has condemned the murder of Albert Ojwang, claiming that security agencies were involved in a cover-up given the conflicting information they released. Maraga has demanded the arrest and prosecution of Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja, Deputy Inspector General Eliud Lagat, whom he directly implicates in Ojwang's murder, and the Director of Criminal Investigations, Mohammed Amin. Maraga also criticized President Ruto's administration for failing to take action against police officers involved in the abductions and killings of Gen Z youths, during and after anti-government protests.
The president, the buck stops with the president. When something like the murder of Ojwang and very many others have happened, the president is supposed to call those who are concerned to either take action or leave.
Despite the stepping out of Deputy Inspector General of Police Eliud Lagat, Maraga still insists that legal action must still be taken against him. James Baraka for KUTV.
Now, in recent times, the image of safety within police stations across Kenya has come under sharp scrutiny, with a growing number of deaths occurring in the hands of security officers, sparking alarm and raising countless unanswered questions. The case of Ojwang is among those that have stirred national outrage. Steve Marsha with more details.
As the mysterious death of a teacher and online influencer Albert Ojwang while in the custody of security agencies continues to be shrouded in a dark uncertainty, more incidents of death in police cells are being reported across the country. The most recent case involving a 36-year-old man who was allegedly found dead in a cell in Turi Town, Homa Bay County. Police in the area claimed that Calvin Omonda, a fisherman, committed a suicide by hanging himself shortly after being taken into custody. The incident comes barely a week after a pregnant woman lost her 7-month-old pregnancy while in custody at Ranyambori, a police station in Nyandarua County. The occurrence of such cases continues to expose a state of confusion within security agencies, particularly regarding how they handle their duties. The conflicting statements between investigative authorities and security agencies continue to raise questions, seemingly without answer, concerning the death of Albert Ojwang. The initial report by Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja claimed that Ojwang was in a solitary cell. However, this contradicts a statement from the Independent Policing Oversight Authority (IPOA), which now alleges that 3 cellmates were used to kill Albert Ojwang. A further contradiction emerged after Ojwang post-mortem examination confirmed he was killed by a blunt force trauma, contrary to the official statements from the security agencies, which claimed he took his own life by banging his head against the wall. The question now rising, could these conflicting accounts be a deliberate strategy by security agencies to hide the truth? As the mystery deepens over the safety of suspects in the custody of security institutions, new questions emerge. Could be there more unreported deaths that occurred in custody? And if so, what measures have been taken to ensure justice for the victims? Stephen Masha, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, a section of Orange Democratic Movement ODM party members in Mombasa are calling for an immediate review and repeal of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act 2018 CMCA, suggesting that it has contributed to the harassment, arrest, and even killings of bloggers and youths. The group, led by Betty Sharon, linked the recent abduction and deaths of youths in the controversial law. She accused legislatures of shedding crocodile tears after passing draconian legislation. The comments came in the wake of the strange murder of Albert Ojwang, a blogger and teacher, in a Nairobi police station after...
It is because of this act that people are being kidnapped. It is because of this act that our children are being killed every day. When the parliamentarians want to pass the act that they believe is favoring them, they pass it without blinking an eye. Then they come back and shed crocodile tears when now it turns tables on us. We want this act to be reviewed. We are not going to sit and see our children die every day. Every day our children are being killed by the police, are being tortured by the police, and yet it is the same parliamentarians who passed the law that promotes this draconian law that promotes the act of killings and kidnapping.
Now, still on stories related to Albert Ojwang, the Central Police Station OCS Samson Talam was arraigned in court today. Talam's lawyers criticized rumors on social media that the saying that Talam voluntarily presented himself at the DCI quarters. Talam has returned to the dock with the case related to be heard again on Wednesday. to be held in custody as per the request of the Independent Police Oversight Authority, IPOA. Now that brings us to the end of stories related to the unfortunate death of Albert Ojwang. On that note, we are taking the very first break on the broadcast tonight. Stay with us.
Badala ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili.
Bila uoga, watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi. Hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
Welcome back. This is KUTV News at 9, and we proceed with the coverage tonight, where a regional push to rethink drug policy is underway following the launch of the Eastern and Southern African Commission on Drugs ESCD in Nairobi. The commission brings together former African presidents and experts advocating for a shift from criminalization to health-based approaches, focusing on care and ending punitive drug laws.
Cabinet Secretary, Interior and National Administration Kipchumba Murkomen welcomed the delegates and saluted Kalema Motlanthe, Chair Eastern and South Africa Commission on Drugs, for his leadership. He quoted President William Ruto's speech stating that Kenya recognizes the concept of rising drug availability, growing online markets and increased use across urban and rural areas as complex threat to youth, health system and security.
Because even the drugs that are being trafficked through this country from the northern part towards the south is accompanied by illegal firearm holders who basically, apart from providing protection to the traffickers, are also selling guns and ammunition. So this is really a whole conglomerate of criminal activities, and it's extremely important for me, as the person currently charged with that responsibility, to take advantage of the wonderful work that has been done by this commission to see how best we can work together to deal with these issues.
Speaking during the launch, former South African President Kalema Motlanthe said the region must move from viewing drug use as a crime to treating it as health and human rights issue. He emphasized that with findings and recommendations in place, it's time to act nationally, regionally, continentally, and globally while respecting national sovereignty. Former President of Mozambique, Joaquim Chissano, also said that illicit drugs continue to fuel violence, corruption, and instability in our region, as many states still lack evidence-based drug policies, relying on punitive measures over rehabilitation. As the region confronts a growing and increasingly complex drug crisis, leaders are calling for bold, united action grounded in science, compassion, and collaboration. Paulette Akoth, KUTV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Paulette. Now, the first cohort of 47 youths from vulnerable groups in Laikipia County brought together for sponsored technical training have finally graduated today. This follows the partnership between Laikipia North Technical and Vocational College and community-based organization which targeted underprivileged persons for training on skills that can be monetized.
Several students from Laikipia County have benefited with various skills in Mayanat Indigenous Youth Life Skills and Cultural Development Center that was set up to provide technical skills to the vulnerable groups in the region at a lower tuition fee, especially the Morans from Maasai community.
This center was founded to address the needs of pastoralist youth, recognizing that the youth there's very low transition of the youth to colleges and other tertiary institutions. Mimi kuna furaha kubwa sana tele kwa sababu nashukuru kwanza hii kampuni ya Impact. Kwa sababu mimi nimeshindwa kupeleka hii kijana yangu shule ingine juu sina school fees. Lakini kwa hii shule wakati tu wameanza kujenga hapa nikasikia ni 5,000 nikashukuru Mungu kabisa.
Additionally, the partnership between TVET and Impact established more vocational colleges a decade ago in the northern region to cater for the marginalized groups in the region.
And we have today seen the graduation of 47 trainees in both in masonry, in carpentry, in plumbing, and even in hairdressing. Now, this partnership has taken us to many places, mainly the marginalized recesses of this country in the northern counties. We have been to as far places as Lamu, Tana River, Garissa, Baringo, Marsabit, Isiolo, and even Laikipia itself.
The graduates, filled with gratitude, expressed great support for the project despite the challenges they encounter through the learning process.
Na mimi sijaingia shule, lakini nilikuwa natamani hii kazi ya dressing. Hiyo ndio nimesomea. Nilikuwa na mpango ya kufungua salon na sasa nataka kuanza hiyo kazi.
Bisa ningependa kushukuru sana Impact sponsors wetu kwa kuleta hii mradi huko. Imesaidia sana hata wale warani wa huko nje waliokuwa idle wameacha kuwa idle, at least wamepata nafasi ya kusoma.
Tuko na challenge kadhaa huko. Challenge ya kwanza ni language barrier. Hatupatani lugha yao na lugha yenyewe tumezoea. Iko na challenge kidogo.
By integrating indigenous knowledge with practical skills and providing startup support, these centers offer a valuable pathway for rural youth to gain meaningful education and economic opportunities. Caroline Kimwele, KUTV.
Now, lobby groups and glass bottle manufacturers have raised serious concerns over the growing trend of unsafe bottle reuse in Kenya. According to human rights organizations, the unchecked collection and resale of used liquor bottles without proper sterilization pose a great health risk to consumers.
A press meeting with journalists, lobby groups and glass bottle manufacturers raised an alarm over the health concerns of Kenyans following influx of unsafe reused glass bottles. According to human rights lobby groups, unchecked mushrooming of glass bottling companies are collecting used glass bottles, especially liquor bottles, without proper fumigation. The lobby is demanding that mandatory and public audits of all glass bottling companies to verify strict adherence to sanitation standards, the bottles be clearly labeled reused, severe penalties and shutdown orders for any company found selling drinks in unsafe reused glass bottles. A national public awareness campaign warning consumers of the dangers of unchecked bottle use. Legislation requiring traceability and certification for every reused bottle before it reaches the market. Bottles used by the public should be subjected to vigorous detoxification, sterilization and cleansing under the supervision of kids before being reused by the public. All reused bottles are to be crushed and recycled into new bottles before they enter the market.
The Department of Health is aware of this, but there's nothing they're doing to help Kenyans. These bottles contain pathogens. These bottles are contain toxics.
These bottles is unhygienic, and this bottle should be repackaged and taken to a company that is well established and licensed, a company that can crush them and bring local.
Consumer advocates have accused regulatory agencies, including the Kenya Bureau of Standard KEBS and Public Health Authority, of failing to address the issue and protect the public from potential health threats.
And cullet is also we use it as raw material for recycling, because we normally make the eco care for the environment, so we bring back to the company so that we can reuse it, and it's also economical for maybe oil as we are using in our furnace. So as you can see here, that is where the entry point from the washing center from cullet plant.
We wash. Public health on the line, concerned groups are urging authorities to act swiftly before the situation spirals into a full-screen health crisis. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
Now that story by Nyamu takes us to the second break on the broadcast tonight. We'll be back with sports.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mkwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu mwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia.
They find it quite strange talking to you.
We should just make schools integrated,
inclusive setups,
by providing the right facilities.
This is EarthCheck, the program where we keep you up to date on matters concerning the environment, various stories on matters happening concerning conservation of our dear planet, the one and only that we have. Right here on EarthCheck, we are on a series concerning genetic modified organisms.
Modified crops are as safe or even safer than traditionally bred crops.
And their impact on the environment and also their role within it. My name is Mal Kutosi, and this is EarthCheck.
Na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii, na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuwini. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari-ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha Mwanamke Mwake, nami Caroline Kimwele.
Welcome back. Now, Kenya Police FC secure their first ever FKF Premier League title with a crucial 1-0 victory over Shabana FC at Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos, beating out long-standing rivals Gor Mahia. The decisive goal came in the 77th minute with Brian Okoth heading in a corner to spark wild celebration among the Police FC supporters. Despite Gor Mahia's 3-2 victory over Ulinzi Stars, it wasn't enough to prevent Kenya Police FC from lifting the trophy. Other results saw Nairobi City Stars defeat KCB FC 2-1, Kakamega Homeboys secure a 1-0 win against Bidco United, and AFC Leopards comfortably beat FC Talanta 3-1. Now, across our borders, Paris Saint-Germain FC made a strong statement in their opening match, comfortably defeating Atletico de Madrid 4-0 at the Rose Bowl Stadium. Meanwhile, in a truly dominant performance, FC Bayern Munich unleashed a goal-scoring spectacle, routing Auckland City FC 10-0 at TQL Stadium. The German Giants showcased their immense quality and set an early benchmark for goal defense. Meanwhile, the match between Palmeiras and FC Porto ended in a 0-0 draw, a tightly contested affair that saw neither side able to break the dead clock. Botafogo secured a 2-1 victory over Seattle Sounders, fighting hard to claim all 3 points in their opening fixture. Now that brings us to the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much, dear gentle viewer, for staying with us this far. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Margaret Migwi, and I'm Anyango Sylvia. Have a good night.